All right, so in chapter 4, section 4, we're going to be factoring. So we're going to be given a polynomial that has 3 terms. We're going to break it down into 2 factors of it. So factors are 2 things that multiply to give us the original. So chapter 4, section 4 is separated into 4 parts. So today is part 1 of factoring. So this whole week, we're just going to be focusing on factoring, but each day is going to be like a different type of factoring. So factoring is rewriting an expression as a product of its factors. So we're turning a trinomial into products of 2 binomials. I don't know what goes in the blanks, but we're just going to leave them empty for now. All right, so example 1. It kind of does example 1 for us, but in words. So step 1 is to find 2 binomials that have the product x squared. So what are 2 things that multiply to give us x squared? X and x. So x and x. So our goal is going to be to take whatever our first trinomial is, and we're going to break it into 2 parts. So we said x squared is x and x. So that's going to be first in both of our groups of parentheses here.
Can you explain what a trinomial and a binomial is?
So trinomial is 3 terms. Binomial is 2. So trinomial, we have 1, 2, 3 terms. And then binomials are going to have 2 terms and 2 terms. So then we want to see what are 2 things that multiply to give us 8. So these 2 numbers are going to multiply together to give us 8. And then they're going to add to give us 6. So what are 2 things that multiply and give us 8? 4 times 2. So 4 times 2 is good. What's 4 plus 2? 4 plus 2 is 6. So that's perfect. Those are the numbers that we're looking for. So that goes into our second spot. 4 times 2. And then is it a positive 4 and a positive 2? Yeah, because positive 4 and positive 2 add to positive 6. So just put plus signs there. So this would be our answer. So it always multiplies to give you the last thing, but adds to give you the middle. So step 1 is to find factors of 20 that add to 9. So what are some factors of 20? What are 2 numbers that multiply and give us 20? 10 and 2. So 10 times 2. Well, let's see. What's 10 plus 2? 12. Our goal is to get it to add to 9, so that doesn't work. So let's try, you said 5 and 4? Yeah. So 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. What's 5 plus 4? 9. So that works. So we're going to write as 2 binomials. So what's going to go in our first spot here? X and x. And then what goes into our second spot? 5 and 4. And then we just put a plus sign in between them. And that's our answer. 10 and 2, since it doesn't add to 9, it doesn't work. So like the boxes are just here to like give us like trial spaces.
So the 20, like if there's no box and you're just looking at like at the top equation, you have to like get to 20 and it has to equal 9.
So it has to multiply to 20 and add to 9. So example 3, we're looking at factors of what? What does it have to multiply to? negative 72. So factors of negative 72 and adds to what? 14.
Is it negative 4 and 18?
Let's try. Negative 4 and 18. So what's negative 4 times 18? Negative 72. Yep. And then what's 18 minus 4? 14. So that's perfect. Awesome. So other factors of negative 72 we could have tried would be like negative 36 and 2. But negative 36 plus 2 would have been negative 34, so that doesn't work. So you just keep trying things until you get one that works. So what goes first in our parentheses? The x's. So x and x.
And then wouldn't it be x plus 18 and then x minus 4?
Awesome. X plus 18, since it's a positive 18, and x minus 4, since it's a negative 4. It does not matter the order, so you could write it like this, or you could say x minus 4 times x plus 18. So the order doesn't matter, but it does matter which one gets the positive and which one gets the negative. All right, example 5. We're looking for factors of what?
30.
Factors of 30, so it multiplies to give us 30 and adds to give us what? Negative 11. So what are two factors of 30? Awesome. That works. Negative 6 and negative 5. That multiplies and gives us what? Positive 30. And what's negative 6 plus negative 5? Negative 11. So that's exactly what we were looking for. So sometimes it takes a couple guesses to see what will work. Like if you think factors of 30, you could think positive 5 and positive 6. But positive 5 plus positive 6 is positive 11, but we're looking that adds to negative 11. So we just have to use a little bit of trial and error sometimes. What's going to go first in our parentheses? X and x. And then what goes next? So x minus 6 and x minus 5. And that's our answer. Any questions here? Example 6 looks a little bit different because we start with a negative. So one way that we can get rid of that to make our lives a little bit easier is just to divide everything by a negative. So I'm going to take that out and change the sign of everything else. So negative x squared becomes positive x squared. Positive 14x would become what? Negative 14x. And positive 32? Negative 32. So I'm looking for factors of what? Factors of negative 32. So that means it's going to multiply to give me negative 32 and add to give me what? Negative 14. Yes. So let's try negative 16 and 2. What's negative 16 plus 2? Negative 14. Perfect. We could have tried. What are some other factors of 32? 8 and 4. One of them has to be negative, so let's say 8 is negative because it has to multiply to negative 32. One has to be negative. What's negative 8 plus 4? Negative 4, so that doesn't work. What are some other factors of 32? We could have said negative 4 and positive 8. What's negative 4 plus 8? positive 4. That doesn't work. But Roy gave us the answer to start. Negative 16 and 2 works. So that's our answer. So since we took out the negative to start here, I have to just make sure I put that negative on the outside. But everything else stays the same. So what's going to go first in my parentheses? X and X. And then what comes next? Minus 16 and plus 2. So that's my answer. All right, so if you notice on the homework, it doesn't give you the boxes. That's fine because we can do it without. Remember, you're looking for something that multiplies to give you the last term, but adds to the first one. So what are two numbers that multiply, gives us 63, but adds to negative 16? Nick?
Negative 9, negative 7.
Negative 9 and negative 7. Negative 9 times negative 7 would be positive 63, so that works. And then negative 9 minus 7 is what? Negative 16, so that works perfect. So what goes first in our parentheses? X and X. And then what goes next? Minus 9 and minus 7.
So the order doesn't matter.
The order doesn't matter. So you could say x minus 9 times x minus 7, or you could say x minus 7 times x minus 9. These are the same thing. Order doesn't matter.